I want to thank everybody for watching Crypto Revolution. We talk about everything crypto daily, jumping right into the market. Today in crypto, Bitcoin stuck under the 200 simple moving average. This is key overhead resistance. The bulls need to regain this level. A bunch of buyers jump in if the bulls can flip this to support. Now we're going to zoom in to some lower term time frames. This is a Bitcoin 1 hour chart. In group I posted, make sure stops are in place. You do not want to see a lower high. But as soon as you start to put in lower highs and lower lows, it's a trend change. Same thing here. Higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. As soon as you start to put in lower highs, it's a trend change. So lower high, I said, yeah, in group I posted, make sure stops are in place on the 22nd yesterday, right here. As soon as you see a lower high in the price action, you're looking for a trend change. Now this is a Bitcoin 4 hour chart. This is where the bulls have got to show up. And I'm going to show you some price action, previous price action. We saw a similar pattern and it led to some upside. But again, we're not trying to predict this. We're merely looking for this potential bounce. So Bitcoin's been in this strong uptrend, which is technically a rising wedge, 68% chance it broke to the downside, and it did. But where's the volume confirmation? There's just not. But the question is this the bullish retest of this larger ascending triangle? And if so, can the bulls bounce here and put in much higher prices? So here it is. If Bitcoin loses about 22,000, you could see a move down here to 19,900. Bitcoin bounces here, you could see $28,000. So it's decision time. It's not, hey, let me predict this. There's bounce ideas for some upside for Bitcoin. If this fails, you go short, right at this level. Technical analysis is not a crystal ball, but it will give you an edge that will make you a ton of money forever. You have to learn this skill set. I've got some amazing shout outs to give in my trading group. This person, they started $1,000 2.5 months ago. They worked up to $18,000. They've got a $50,000 goal by the end of the cycle. Then they hit me up again and they said, listen, my parents are completely surprised because I paid for my Bachelor's of Commerce degree. They paid $16,000 for their schooling. College student pays for all their schooling. I said, have you been in the group before? They said, I've been with you for 10 months. I had zero clue before. I can teach you how to trade this market and you will change your life forever. This person, he started with about $150. He paid off all his bills and then he worked his way up to $11,700 banging. You've got these gem pick bangers that we post daily, 103%, 27%, 21%, 44%, 35, 33, 24, 18. Bangers posted daily. So you got to be in the right coins and I can help you. If you sign up this week, I'm still giving a huge discount, 60% off the regular prices. Remember, you go over to the website, cryptorev.net. Pays for itself. It's a no-brainer, cryptorev.net. If you go down into the description of this video, there's a link take you directly to this website. Remember, if you have any questions, email me, cryptobitcoinchris@gmail.com. The DXY, the dollar index. And so, again, Fed's going to come out and potentially raise the rates. Well, they have to raise the rates on the 27th. So that's 4 days from now. And they're trying to strengthen the dollar. And so if the dollar loses this level and sees some downside, Bitcoin can see a nice bounce. Stocks can see a nice bounce, right? Whereas if this bounces and the dollar gets stronger, and potentially you have some Bitcoin and stock market downside ahead. This is the total market cap of all of crypto. See right here where essentially this is a double top M pattern. Now, if the bulls can't break above this and flip it, that would invalidate it, and then you'd be looking for much higher prices. But if they can't break above it and invalidate this downside idea, essentially your measured move would come all the way down here into this area. So, I mean, at that point, you'd need, and this is all the coins in crypto put together, you need a bullish bounce to happen, avoid massive downside. If it were to break back in the pattern, obviously devastating to the market. So if then statements, it's how trading works. If this happens, then do this. Once you learn how to do this, it'll change your life forever, period. This is Ethereum. And so we nailed 28% gains out of this, actually 29% gains out of this move higher. Ethereum is putting in a bit of a rising wedge, but there's news with Ethereum as far as they did a shadow fork. They're trying to move to proof of stake. They had, really good breakout volume previous. And so the question is the news hype right now in a bear market enough to drag Ethereum higher? And I think it's going to follow Bitcoin, and it's all going to depend on what happens here, the stock market. This is ES1, and so this is S&P 500 E-mini futures. And so right now, this thing is right at overhead resistance. Look at this. You got rejected here. You got rejected here and here. You got rejected multiple times here and here and here and here. If this gets rejected, short-term Bitcoin downside, highly likely, right? If it were to break a lot lower than this, then you're looking for a lot more downside out of Bitcoin. The Fed comes out and they do something crazy and jack the rates up 1%, 100 basis points, then you're going to see a pullback in the market. So it's hard to trade news, but you know that the Fed has got to fix things. The dollar, inflation's out of control. I've talked to a couple friends of mine, and they've got raises like inflation wage increase. They've gotten raises just to cover for inflation. Gas, obviously, I mean, it's hurting the country. The United States economy is in a lot of trouble, and they have to strengthen the dollar in order to fix inflation. So most important here is make or break time. We're going to see a move out of Bitcoin in the next 24 to 48 hours, and it's going to set the tone for the next week. But the curveball is midweek. Then you're looking at what the Fed does with rates. Also on the 28th, the GDP numbers are going to be released. Previously, it was negative 1.5%. With the inversion yield curve, we've already essentially at the door of a recession. I think we're already there. And the GDP forecast is negative growth in the quarter. I mean, you could see a recession that's 6, 12, 18 months ahead of us based on these ideas. So again, not amazing for the stock market. Crypto is going to follow this. Well, it has been. So you have to assume that it just continues to follow the stock market until it doesn't. And that's our edge. And that's how we've been making tremendous amount of money in the trading group. You guys, I gave you Ethereum. I gave you guys Ethereum the other day. Right here, we made 29%. And so you have to take all this data. It's called confluence, when you find the same data ideas across multiple charts and time frames. We want to see confluence, and then we use the data that the stocks and the Fed are giving us, create an even bigger edge. Never traded so well in my life, period. But you have to learn. I'm constantly studying. I essentially went back and extrapolated data to get an idea on how the similar type of situations in the past have played out on the charts. And so these are things that I share all the time in the trading group, and I try to share as much as possible on here. But there's only these videos are only every 24 hours. So again, when you're ready to take things to the next level, banging, I can help you. If you guys like the content that I provide on a daily basis, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment in the comment box. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.